What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. We're back to talk a little transfer news, but in the main, we're going to talk about two players that already belong to us, two players that are going to be huge key cogs to the season in terms of us getting promotion, and they're going to be big as long as they're available, and more importantly, as long as they're selected. We're going to get into that, talk a little bit about Rasmussen Jr. at the end, but this is going to be a different pace of a stream, people. I think, the last few streams have all been outgoings, and everything else. I'm going to change it up a bit and just give some reasons as to why I'm still confident about promotion this season with the current base that we have. Let me make that clear. Before I get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below. And listen, FPL's restarted. I've restarted the league. I'm going to see if I can get a price sorted. I don't know if I can, but I will try. I mean, it would just be gifting it to myself, in all honesty, because I'm out to win this year. But if you want to join the FPL, if you haven't already, the link is in the description as well. Thank you to Jeffrey Meyer, who's become a member of the channel. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description too. So it just goes a long way to supporting me and the channel. Good evening, Jeremy. Brian here, a confident player with belief in his own football abilities. The nerve of this guy, some Leeds fans are not going to like this year. It's a new era, people. It's a new era, man. We're going into an era where we need players with talent and that believe in their talent. It's beautiful for me to see, because that is my kind of baller. I don't like the humble thing. I don't. I can take it if you're humble, but I can see that you believe in yourself. But I don't like that. I just work hard and do my best. Do my best. I can do my best. That don't mean I should be playing for Leeds United, does it? Cy in the house, always supporting Cy. Evening KG Joseph number 9. I hear it. I hear it. Russ in the house. Shout out to you, Russ. Richard saying, nice to see the lad so full of confidence and to hear how hard he's worked off season. Let's hope he hits the ground running and bags plenty early to cement his place in the team. Yeah. And you know what, Richard? It's not even that he needs to bag in the first 3 games. Let's say he gets 3 starts to start the season and he doesn't score. That shouldn't mean the end of it, because we know there's players in this team that get longer leashes of rope than that. They can go 10 games without scoring, but then their other abilities keep them in the team. Nah, he needs to be given the room. And there's going to be bumps in the road. He's still learning. He's going to be getting used to being a regular. We should be giving him that space, because he's got the ability to get us where we need to go. That's why when we talk about these transfer streams, people, I never mention strikers, because I'm confident in both Joseph and Peru. It's as simple as that for me. In the championship, I think that they're going to do more than well enough for us. Ryan in the house, love a KG live stream. I'm here, man. I'm here. Evening to you, Richard. Benny in the house. Chris, KG notifications dropping with the subscribers like Undertaker's dongs at WrestleMania. Fairs. Trigger Happy saying, honest opinion, do you think he gets a chance to prove himself this season? I do. Listen, he spoke to Popey today, and you know what, people? Let's get right into it. He spoke to Popey today, and it was a really good interview. If you haven't seen it, go and watch the full thing on BBC Sport West Yorkshire. I'm just going to give you highlights here, but there were so many things that I like to hear in what he was saying today. And Popey here with just a quick headline saying he's ready to lead the line, and that's the feeling I got from the interview. I got the feeling that last year was about learning, but this year it is my time. It is my time to shine. And I don't think people that he says things like that unless he's had a conversation with Danny Farker. I can't say that that's true or not. I'm just guessing. But I would assume that after last year and the lack of minutes he did get, the lack of opportunities he received, that his agent and Danny Farker would have spoken, said, okay, I'm willing to give him more shots this season. And that's the only way I'm gauging off it from what he said today. Yeah, listen, man. Big up at KG and everyone in the chat. Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. And Jeffrey here, evening KG, loving your honest commentary. This channel is different. It definitely is. Best one out there. I join, and I appreciate that, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for the support. Listen, let's talk about Joseph. We're going to speak about Struijk in a bit as well, because these are reasons why you can't knock me off the confidence perch of getting promoted at this point in time. I need to make that clear. I'm talking in the current mode, while we've got the team that we currently have right now, okay? Or lack of team, but additions will be made, people. I need to say something before we get into Mateo Joseph's comments. I didn't read the whole thing today, and I think a lot of you would have seen it on social media, but there was a big old letter by someone sent out trying to get the attention of Parag, trying to get the attention of Angus Kinnear, talking about, I mean, Dude, it was crazy. I didn't read all of it. It's like it is really one of those like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you, or I'm happy for you, or whatever, congratulations and all that. But it was just talking about how the 49ers need to come out now and tell people what's happening because of all the departures. And we never hear anything about incomings. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I mean, I cut it off after the first paragraph. I scrolled down. I was like, bloody hell, what you've written all that? Is it that serious? But there's no need for this because the thing is, you can't satisfy everybody. If Parag comes out tomorrow, people, and says things are in hand, people, or everyone, no need to panic. We've got things lined up, but we don't like to do our business publicly. Things are in hand. Those same people will say, "But who? But who's in hand? Well, we haven't seen anything." You know what I mean? You won't please these people that are asking for these kind of things. The only thing that will please them is when bodies come through the door, and I get that, but we've been through this before, people, where we have our stuff leaked and then all of our transfers usually get jumped on, usually by Norwich in the past, or these days Bournemouth. But when things get out, it just means that other clubs are alert and they know someone's available. Why would the 49ers want to do business like that? It makes zero sense. Kelvin saying it's so dumb, the reactions having a professional run club, it's too much for some people. Yeah, it's different, and I think that's what it is. They can't take it that we actually have real business people at the football club. It's hurting them because before we saw it with GFH, whether it was David Hay or I can't even remember the other guy. What was his name? Salim. My lord, they used to be on social media and interacting with people and asking other podcasters like the Square Ball, who should we sign from Football Manager? We actually have a real ownership here. The only time for me, people, we can't complain that we want things done in silence, and when it's done in silence, you complain. I guess the only time that you would say, well, we could do with some clarification here is maybe at the end of the transfer window, if the business isn't done, then maybe you've got a cause to write a letter like that. But on the 17th of July, people, I think everyone just needs to just calm down. I'm not telling you how to feel, but asking for the owners to write you a letter or, explain things at this point, it's a waste of time. Absolutely waste of time. Yeah, exactly. Let Parag do his work, man. Let him do his work. Imagine him taking his time out and missing a call because he's writing, and this is what we're planning to do at the end of July. No, come on, man, people. Come on. Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's good. So yeah, listen, just social media is social media. But yeah, let's talk about Mateo Joseph and his interview today. And like I say, please go and watch it if you haven't seen it already. Um, just some of the highlights in terms of what he was saying. He's now Joseph says he's now more than ready, and some telling me I always work really hard, but I have to take this season with all I have. I think it's going to be my season. I don't want to sound too confident, but you should. But I can't wait to prove it and aim and start the season and for the season to start. I prepared myself for a season like I never did. I haven't stopped training. Everything I see I have to improve, I will do it. Every spare time I have, I'll even read about other players or athletes to learn how to train better or get better in my style of play. Now, in training against players, all defenders like Struijk and Roden and Ampadu, you can see you manage better against them. So there he is. He's even saying against the defenders that we've got now, he feels like he's getting even better equipped against this quality. So imagine him against one of the bottom feeders in the championship, people. Of course, it's different training to match days, completely get it. But I love that as well, that he's a student of the game. I absolutely love that. Obviously, you don't have to love football to be the best. We know that. But the fact that he's soaking everything in right now, it's brilliant. What more can you ask for from a top talent like this? Um, and what else was there? Oh, and just some satire below about Spain winning the Euros. The next day, he came in with his Spain tracksuit on. Gelhardt said he would have done the same if England had won. But I guess we're never going to know, shout out to Kanye with that kind of line. But the point I'm trying to make with this, and obviously there's a lot more on the actual interview, is that Mateo is ready to go. And the only person that is going to stop him, it's not Patrick Bamford, if he's still here, please no. But if he's still here, it's not Bamford that's stopping him. It will be Daniel Farker. So Farker needs to know, look, Daniel Farker will make his bed if he goes with the same striker that he trusted for too many games last year when he went out of form. That's going to be on him. If he doesn't play the striker that gets you 2 goals at Chelsea and then you drop him for the Huddersfield game, this is going to be on Farker because the pressure is never going to be higher than it is this season on Daniel Farker. There's going to be very little room for error. He needs to make sure he gets it right, and getting it right is playing Peru and Joseph or one or the other, see how it goes. But those are your guys. And you should make sure that there's no doubt that even if they go through a little dip, which does happen, that the old trusted Hulk Hogan is in the back going to just take the spot. It has to be that way, people. The mentality is spot on, confidence, not arrogance. Yeah, but you know what it is, Ryan. Especially, and we see this with British all the time. British people, they don't like confident people. You know what I mean? They like you to know that you're good, but they don't want you to say it. You know what I mean? They want you to be confident to a certain point, but don't cross the line. But I love confident players. I detest players that don't believe in their own ability, because what are you doing? You've done so much work to get to the level you're at. How do you not believe in your own source? But I love it, Ryan. Exactly. It's brilliant confidence that he's got. Ed in the house. Great to finally catch you live again. Shout out to you, man. Let's have a look here. Nate saying Peru going to have 20 plus goals this season. Feel like Joseph's going to have a tough time breaking in. Chris Kingy on the other hand says, I'll put money on Joseph scoring 20 plus next year if he's the main striker. Yeah, this is the thing for me, and this is why I don't ask for new strikers when we do these transfer streams. I do feel if you give Joseph enough game time, he's going to hit 15 plus in goals, and he's going to get assists too with the way that he links up play and the way that he moves around in the box. I just feel that there's just so many things to his game that are just ready to go, ready to refine, and going forward, that we need to utilize him properly, because we didn't last season. If I could put out that disingenuous quote in a pre-match press conference when he was asked about Bamford and Joseph, talking about Joseph only had 1 goal in 15, not even saying though that Joseph usually only got 8 minutes per game. You know what I mean? But I've seen enough from Joseph, both at the young level and international level, and the little cameos that he's had at Leeds, to know that he can do the 15 plus. And that's why when you guys are telling me Josh Sargent, why? Like, why Josh Sargent, is he even going to stay fit for that amount with his ankles? Probably not. And there's other strikers that you may mention. They're not better than Joseph and Peru at this level. They're not. I'm sorry to say, but they're not. Geno here, just on Charlie Crew, yet may play a part this season, scored in the friendly. He did, as did Harry Gray. Wouldn't it be interesting if Harry Gray opened up a spot in this team? Harry Gray, by the way, I know Archie and Harry look the same. We know that, but man, it's scary how they look the same. It's almost like Archie regen, but just with a strike on him. But yeah, Harry, you never know with Harry Gray. I know it's early. It's got a lot of development to do, but it wouldn't surprise you if he just snuck on the bench one time with it. You know what I mean? Away at Plymouth or something like that. Paul saying he scored 2 at Chelsea, then was dropped for the Huddersfield game after poor management from Farke. Yeah, and these are lessons that Farke has to learn, people. It's not just about the plays that we've got, why I'm confident, but Farke has to learn lessons from last season. And all we can do, people, is hope, because he is going to start the season here, regardless of how you feel. Jeffrey here saying, played centre forward most of my playing days. The great ones have the it factor, instinct. Watching him, the kids has it in spades. Yeah, everything that people keep on crediting BPB for, Joseph has plus more, because he's got pace and he's got better movement and he's got a better leap as well. There's just so much to do. But the problem is with some of the fan base as well, because they haven't seen him, they can't believe it. It's that thing. If you haven't seen it, how can I believe it? Give him the opportunities and he will show you, as he said today. And yeah, Harry Gray is a baller, absolutely. So yeah, listen, people. Russ here, just on to finish on Joseph, because he's a young lad, he's fearless. He's fearless, sorry, and has no issues having a crack at goal. We need to all get behind the lad. Yeah, I think everyone's behind Joseph. I think just some of the people that are like, why have you got so much confidence in him? Well, if he's given enough opportunities, he'll show you why. He will absolutely show you why. But listen, somebody else, people, who is coming, who is excited to be back, is Mr. Pascal Struijk. And listen, one other big reason why in this championship, when you're talking to me and I'm telling you Struijk and Rodon are our first centre back pairing, I'm cool. I'm absolutely cool and calm, because that is a top pairing in this division, and they even potentially could even play in the Prem if they develop right and put together a partnership that just keeps on growing together. We got robbed of it last season with Struijk's injury. Just think about how good these two could be if they had a full season together. Absolutely, J-Tex. The sexy pirate is back. And he was just talking today. Again, this is on the LUFC website if you want to read the full thing. Just going to take a few things here. Much to the fans' delight, Struijk has been pictured and filmed back in training over the last few weeks, speaking exclusively to LeedsUnited.com. The 24-year-old said, "I'm really excited. I'm just raring to go after such a long time. It's always great to be back, but for me especially, it's good to get back playing again. At the end of last season, I was getting close, but I still wasn't ready. So to be able to work out over the summer and be ready for the first day of preseason was a really good feeling because you haven't been a part of it for a while. And you just look at him. I know he's sitting down here, but we've seen him in the videos, people. He looks like he's put on some good muscle. Like he's already dominant in the air for me. But the fact he's even put on more body mass of muscle is brilliant because that's what I feel he needs as well, just for that little bit more dog in him, just that little bit more dog. And I think he's got that in him. I do. Um, let's have a look. Oh, awesome, boys. Let me start that one. Let me start that one. Hannah here just saying, love Pascal. This makes me happy. It makes me really happy because we've been talking about everything in between. People keep on mentioning, oh, we're not going to have a squad and this and that. But people seem to be forgetting the base that we're starting from, people. And the people that have left besides Archie Gray are players that didn't really play. They weren't here to play. So it's all about replacing those for squad members that Danny Farker's going to use. And I put this to you guys as well. Joe Rodon, who had Premier League interest, he would have asked questions. He and his agent would have asked questions. Do you think he's going to come back here and reject Premier League interest to come back and play a five-a-side game? I don't think so. I think he's going to come back here because he believes in the project. Like he said, he believes in what the 49ers are about to do. So it's just preaching a bit of patience. And you're talking, and I'm talking here, people, and I don't have that much patience. But because we see how the 49ers have operated last summer, and as we saw with the Joe Rothwell deal, I'm cool right now. But obviously, information as it changes, if we come to the end of the window and we're threadbare, then we'll have a different conversation. But I don't foresee that happening. That's me. Put my neck out on the line. I don't foresee that happening. And yeah, with Struijk, let's have a look. Yeah. We're always scared of the running. We just want to play football, but preseason sets the tone for the first game. And if everyone puts everything into it, we'll be ready for the first season. So there you are, Mr. Struijk there, talking like a leader. And that's another thing I wanted to take from this as well, people, because everyone always concerned, oh my God, we're going to lose Ayling, we're going to lose Cooper, Dallas is retired, Bamford's still here. Where's the leadership? You get new leaders, people. People step up. When the old leadership goes out, new leadership steps up. And when you got Struijk, you've got Ampadu, Rodon in the house, there's already leadership there. I'm sure Joe Rothwell will be using his experience too. There's leadership comes in all shapes and forms, people. I do like a shouty leader, I must say. When I see that on the pitch, I like that. Not just passion emergency, you got to be a good footballer too, but I like to see that. But you can be leading from within, you can lead by example, people. So there we go. That's why I don't worry about those guys leaving the football club. Yeah, I hear that, Kelvin. Yeah. Pascal is a captain. He's obviously respected in the camp. Yeah. I mean, I've made the point that I think Joe Rodon would be a brilliant captain, but I do get that feeling as well, Kelvin, that Pascal is respected. And he was the choice made by Daniel Farker last season when everyone was there. And maybe it's because Ampadu was too new. I don't know, but Ampadu did get the armband when Struijk was gone. But I do think maybe Struijk will still be the captain. And again, I have no issues with that. I think he's grown so much. 24 years old. It feels like Struijk should be like 26 at this point. He's been here so long, but he's ready for a big season, people. And I feel he's going to have it, honestly. Paul Gray, was Cooper ever a leader? Just attributes people invent. No, you know me, Paul. I don't rate him as a defender, not in the slightest. But as a captain, he was all that. And I heard plenty of stories, not just from fans, but behind the scenes, just of all the work he does. That is part of captaincy, people. That is part of leadership. It's where people need to come to you for advice or whatever. And he was that guy. So can't take that away from him, Paul. Right. Ryan says, if my missus left me for Pascal, I'd respect it. That's tremendous. And I'd get it too, man. I'd get it too. Shout out to you, Ryan. But yeah, so people, that's what I wanted to get for this stream, man, because it has been a bit not doom and gloom, but because it's all outgoings that we keep speaking about, I just wanted to highlight some of the reasons why I still think we're strong. We're talking about Dan James. We still have Somerville here. Still no real, talks about him. Talked about him being rated at 20 million euros by the French publication, which is absolute garbage. I don't think the 49ers would even entertain that, not even for 1 foot. We still got Jorginho in the house, Ampadu, Rodon. Firpo is still here, and we're going to speak about Firpo as well. But there's just so much to like, people. There's so much to like. So let's move on from Pascal and let's. We do have another signing again, another one to quiet the internet, I would guess. But academy defender Alfie Cresswell has signed a professional contract with the club. So there you go, people. The Cresswells aren't mad at Leeds United and are taking everyone out quite clearly because Alfie's still here. So we'll see how he develops. Obviously he's not for the first team, but there you go. Just debunking another myth from the internet saying that all the Cresswells are angry at Leeds. This kind of says otherwise. So a shout out to Alfie and good luck to him. In regards to Rasmus, people, nothing major, but we've been hearing about it's either going to be a loan or Leeds are looking for around 6 million or 15, I should say. But it looks like it's going to be a loan. And I don't know, there's no point going into it right now, but Rasmus, it may be a loan fee. Maybe it's going to be around 3 million, 4 million. Maybe they engage a buy option at the end of it. We've got to wait and see, but it looks like this one is going to advance. Rasmus wants to move. Looks like Leeds are happy for him to move on. And yet we just have to wait and see what it is. Let's have a look here. So yeah, so there we go. That's the Rasmus update, people. So hopefully we get that one done. Junior Firpo, we've been hearing about the Betis reunion. Graham Smith here has said today, in regards to Junior Firpo. Reports linking Junior Firpo with the Real Betis reunion came to news to Leeds United. This one certainly feels different now to how it would have felt a year ago or 2 years ago. He's just talking about how people are clamoring for Firpo. The only thing I would say in regards to Graham Smith, and this isn't nothing against him because you get information and news from people and sometimes it changes by the hour. The only thing I would say about Graham Smith is that he recently said that there was no interest from Brentford for Archie Gray. That was not true. That was definitely not true. The Brentford bid is what triggered Tottenham to move. But Junior Firpo as well, and Leeds United showing a picture of him today, smiling in training, which is cool. The only thing again I would say to that, as well as the Graham thing, is that we got this picture on the 3rd of July too with Glenn Kamara. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really mean much, does it, in terms of showing pictures of players in training? We know that things can change, and there was obviously pictures after this one of Glenn Kamara doing the whole Red Bull thing. So again, don't take anything like that. I mean, if Junior Firpo stays for the year without needing a new contract, cool. I would happily accept that. And then he says goodbye at the end of the season. But otherwise, I still think that there could be something in the Betis rumors. I do. So let's just stay tuned and see what's going on. Jack saying these Leeds journalists, yeah, it's tough, and I guess you know what, that's what other people, in terms of that guy who wrote that big old letter, crazy. I think that's it as well, because you're not getting anything of substance from these journalists anymore. You're not. Popey's probably the best because the BBC get to do interviews with the players, so they get a little bit of insight. But when it comes to behind the scenes stuff, they're in the dark. The only times they get something is when the selling club or the club that we're trying to buy from leaks the information out. It never comes from the 49ers enterprises ever. So it's just a different ball game now. It's a new era compared to what we've been used to. And I feel like people just have to get used to it under the 49ers leadership. I do. And listen, just before we leave, there's not much, there is nothing else to the stream, people, but thank you for joining me. Ian Stevens says Joseph is the man this season. 100% he's the man. Him and Peru can lead us to glory. Okay. It's the fullbacks and everything else that we need to strengthen. Would love a new goalkeeper. But for me, the forward group as it stands today is what it should be. I still look at as well, if let's just say Somerville does go, people, at this point in time, Ben and Diaz is still at Villarreal, and I don't know if he's even wanted there. I know he wants a Premier League move, but once again, we could be a good vehicle for him to go into the Premier League if we take him on, because I believe his price is about 6 million, and I would absolutely pay 6 million for Ben and Diaz to join the forward group because he can play off the left, no problem. So there's things out there. Now, I'm not saying Ben and Diaz just to be the out and out replacement for Somerville, but he could be one of the two quite easily. And then if you're talking Jonathan Rowe as the other, then you've got the mix there, haven't you? What a mix that would be, by the way. BMG here, KG. Do you think Gelhardt is done? Um, It's tough, isn't it, BMG? Because he wasn't involved, and this is the problem. This would be another one, BMG. If Gerhardt was sold tomorrow, people would be crying, but he wasn't used, and he was fit. You know, he got injured a little bit, but he was available on the bench for many games, and he wasn't used. So it would be one for me where if you sell him, just replace him with someone that Daniel Farke is actually going to use. But he could have been used last season, 100%. He could have been in this division. Joe Gerhardt can play and he wasn't given the opportunity. So you've got to think that maybe a move is on the way for him. But I haven't heard anything, so that's just me spitballing and guessing. That's just me. Kelvin just saying in regards to Ben Bryant and Diaz, 6 million all day long. Honestly, that's a snip. When you consider what he did for Sheffield United last season in the Prem, the amount of goals he got in the appearances for that team, it's brilliant, and he's only gotten better since the pandemic year. He's only gotten better year upon year in terms of his output, in terms of how he's gotten better as a footballer. The Chile international thing has helped him out big time. That's really been a big influence on him, and I think it would be a good addition to get in if the Premier League teams don't move in for him. 6 million, you are laughing, absolutely. Um, okay, Rusty is saying, not a cat in hell's chance. Are the 49ers not going to sign the players we need before the season starts? They're just shipping out the deadwood first. Yeah, deadwood and players that they could move on. Oh, that was it as well. A comment from my last video, and listen, it's a regular person on the channel, but they said about Kamara in terms of him going. Let me get a drink. That he obviously wanted the move because he agreed terms a couple of weeks ago before Leeds and Rennes even agreed a fee. Just to point out to other people that maybe don't know, but when a player is not wanted by the club or a club is looking to move them on or are ready to move a player on, they will allow that player to agree terms and talk to other clubs. And then it's up to the two clubs to agree a fee. So that's why you always hear these days now, personal terms are not a problem, even though the clubs haven't agreed a fee. It's because that the club, which is us as Leeds United, would have said to the player and his agent, okay, it's cool. You can go out somewhere else and agree terms. If you do that, we'll then negotiate a fee with the buying club. That is how it works in football these days. It isn't one of those things where a player is just sitting down and waiting for someone to come in. Who's going to bid for me? Who's going to bid? No, they go out and see how serious that club is and see if they can strike a deal. And then it's up to the two clubs to negotiate. So that is how football works, especially these days, people. So yeah, people, that is it. Let me just see if I've missed anything else. No, that is it, people. That is it. That is the show. And I hope you've enjoyed the show today. It's very different from the ones that we've done in the last few days. Maybe we'll be back on those tomorrow. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, drop a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.